Seeds, known as Wootini, here with another Gay Gamer video podcast. I have, as expected, 2 movie reviews this week because last episode there wasn't one because I thought my Oppenheimer ticket was for Saturday, but it was actually for Sunday because Saturday was sold out and Sunday was the only place where I could get a seat. So I went to see Oppenheimer after I shot last week's episode. And I got really nervous because the opening Universal logo was like super letterboxed, and I was like, oh no, is this going to be a Oppenheimer situation? Because different theaters are showing Oppenheimer in different aspect ratios, and I'm like, but then the actual movie started, and it did fill the entire IMAX screen. So I was like, phew. So while it wasn't 70 millimeter, the 42nd Street AMC IMAX theater turned out to be a fine way to see it because it was a big IMAX screen and it filled the entire screen top to bottom, and I believe that was the correct aspect ratio to see it, and it was a good movie, actually. I really enjoyed it. I do kind of wish that it wasn't 3 hours long. The girl next to me got up twice to pee. I was able to hold it the whole time because I like to sit in the middle for the best view. So I don't want to have to climb over people to get out and then climb over them to get back in. You know, it's why you probably want to sit on an aisle seat for something long so you can get up and go to the bathroom if you need to. But it was a bit long, but it was a fascinating story, a fascinating character study. Cillian Murphy is amazing. He's so good. And Robert Downey Jr. is clearly gunning for an Oscar for the supporting actor. And while it is very much a men's movie, the women aren't big parts. Emily Blunt does an amazing job with the scant scenes that she is given. I will say that. She is amazing, and she makes the most of every moment of her screen time, and makes an impression. Some of, like, Nolan choosing to tell the story, like, kind of jumping through time, you know, telling it, it's mostly chronological, but like jumping back and forth between the past and the further past. It helps keep things interesting because it just helps keep things moving, and it also helps let him juxtapose moments from the 2 different time periods, you know, together. Some of the stylistic choices that he makes are very successful, and then some others, like the one in the interrogation scene, not so much. That one didn't really work for me. It was an uncomfortable giggle, and it just felt weird. But overall, very impressive. Definitely see it on as big a screen as possible with a nice sound system. You know, don't wait for this to show up on Peacock at home. It won't be the same movie. It'll still be a good movie, but it won't be the same experience. And then this weekend, I went to see Barbie. Unfortunately, I was not really in the mood for Barbie when I saw it, so that kind of was unfortunate, but it's when I had my ticket for, and the theater sold out, so I was like, well, there's more movies coming, I can't wait another week. So I said, let's just go, and maybe it'll lift my spirits, lift my mood. It didn't exactly do that. I feel like some of the humor didn't quite work on me because I wasn't in the right mindset, but when it gets all emotional and tear-jerky at the end, that totally worked. And empirically, like, I might not have been in the right state of mind to have enjoyed Barbie to its fullest, but I can say empirically it is a very good, well-made movie. It's very smart, and it's clever, and it's very well done. It's really weird, which I enjoyed, and it doesn't take itself too seriously, which, you know, helps. I could have done without Will Ferrell. He never really does much for me. Same with Ryan Gosling. I just don't see the appeal. Although Ken is supposed to be a little douchey later, so that's fine, and that sort of works to have cast him as this douchey guy. But Margot Robbie is so good in this. Like, it's kind of ridiculously amazing how good she is. And, like, she should totally get awards for this. I don't know if she would, because it's Barbie, but maybe Warner Brothers will pull out all the stops and get her nominated for something or other, because it's impressive. Like she's really good, which you don't expect from something called Barbie, but it is not what you're thinking it's going to be. It's something completely insane, and it's enjoyable. So go see it if you can get seats, because the showing I went to was completely sold out again. And I do appreciate, as a movie fan, that Oppenheimer and Barbie seem to have, like, not to say that movies are back, but they seem to have revitalized going to the movies to see a movie in the theater with an audience and a group experience on a big screen, you know, making it an event. You know, like Oppenheimer, you needed to see on a big screen, and Barbie, you need to see now with a bunch of people, and it's enjoyable, and, you know, don't miss out, you know, because, you know, we need to get people back to see movies in the theater, because that's the best way to see a movie. Don't wait for streaming. Anyway, moving on to games, I did check, as you know, last episode, I finished Gotham Knights, and I did check the trophies to see if there were any that would be easy to get, and there were some where I'm like, well, I could probably get that one and that one, but I'd have to do like a whole bunch of like random street crimes, and it's like that's just going to get repetitive and irritating, so I don't really feel like it. I'm not a trophy hunter, so I'm not going to like go out of my way to get as many trophies as possible. But there was one where there was a side mission where you're supposed to go and put fake data into computer servers to help cover up Batman's secret identity and make it look like Bruce Wayne cannot be Batman. It's not possible. And I thought I had finished it when I did the Wayne Towers server room, because that was extremely tricky. But it turns out, no, that wasn't the last one. That was only the third one. There were still two more. But I thought I was done because they weren't on the map, but then they don't actually show up on the map until after you finish one. Then the next one will show up on the map. You finish that, the next one shows up on the map. So I still had two more to do. But they weren't a big deal, and I just knocked that out and got that trophy. And then I said, okay, now I'm done. We're going to move on now. And as I have said in the past, I had thought my next game would be Alan Wake Remastered, and it is. I started playing that, and as I mentioned, it had come free. Alan Wake came free with my Xbox 360 back in the day as a pack-in, and I don't remember a lot about it. I know I didn't last very long. I don't know why I quit playing it. I don't know if I didn't like it. I don't know if it was hard. I don't know. But like I'm playing it now, and like there's very little that's familiar. There was one part where you're going through the woods and there's like a logging area and you're trying to get to a gas station, and some of that felt vaguely familiar, but everything else I'm just like, I got nothing. This is all new to me. And I don't know how long I don't know how far I got in it on my 360. But I have to say I probably quit because it got really hard. I'm playing on normal, and there have already been two parts that were so hard I wanted to stop playing because it got frustrating. And I didn't want to go and notch because you can't change difficulty in the middle of the game, annoyingly. If you could, I would have just dropped it down to easy and said, fuck it, I'll just go for the story. Except, I don't really like the story. The story's all mysterious and weird, and so it's not really hanging together, and so that it's like, I don't really want to play more to find out more about the story. And then the gameplay is all basically the same. You run through the woods and you know, kill the shadowy people and get scared and creeped out. And that's basically it. So, and I was trying to like, you know, conserve my ammo and use, you know, don't use that weapon, save it for a boss fight. But then from scene to scene, like, they're like, they take away your weapons and then you have to get new ones. And I'm like, wait, why am I hoarding if it doesn't actually seem to matter? And they're just gonna do whatever. Like there's one section where you have to go through an area, but they don't give you any weapon or even a flashlight. So I'm like, well, if I have nothing, I won't be scared because nothing's going to attack me. I'll be fine because I can't fight back. So that was weird. But yeah, I'm not sure I'm really enjoying it. Also, it's a survival horror game, so it was very like stressful and anxiety, and I'm getting enough anxiety in my real life this past week, so by the middle of the week I was just like, I don't want to play this. Like, I don't need that additional stress and anxiety in my life. I need to do something I'm gonna go watch a movie or something, or read a book to, de-stress, because Alan Wake will not help me to de-stress. Not when the combat gets like super insanely difficult, and then there's like a driving section where you can barely control the car. I'm not sure what they were thinking there. But yeah, it's remastered, so it looks better than it did. It's very atmospheric and it looks really, really good. But the gameplay and animation is the same, so it's sort of like, it's a trade-off, I guess. So I don't know how much longer I'll last. I can't say I'm really like enjoying it, but we'll see what happens. So come back next episode and see if I'm still trying to push my way through Alan Wake, or if I have decided to play something else instead. Find out then. Bye!